to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
Here he goes. It's Hester. Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Deshaun Jackson back in the lineup. Missed the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards. A somersault into the end zone. His first touchdown of the season.
You're listening to The Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to The Pigskin Project. Following week 1, big week for multiple reasons. Injuries were huge. There were a couple upsets. The Bengals just disappeared for some reason. Tyreek Hill had an amazing game. Tua just started his MVP candidacy. You know, it's insane. And yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers went down with an Achilles tear. That was just tough. But not only that, but my team that I coached our old high school team, or played against our old high school team this week, and got killed. So we'll get there. But anyways, just like we always start it. Ben, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. Violently sick this past week. I don't say violently sick, but definitely going around. Had a bug, but I'm glad that I am here and good to do the podcast. I'm sorry for any of our visual listeners, I guess, because of the glasses, but there's no way I'm putting in my contacts. But it's good. I mean, football's back. I can never be disappointed about that. That's for sure. How the bigger question was how was your weekend, bud?
It was a good weekend. So, for those of you that, okay, so I'll just start off with Friday, right? Just because it was a bit of a letdown. So unfortunately, we got brutally just massacred on Friday, 48-0. And it was just not a fun game to go to because they dropped like 40 points on us in the first quarter. Started to slow them down just a little bit, or 30 points in the first quarter, something like that. I don't know. So we started to slow them down just a little bit and everything, but ultimately just wasn't our day by any means. So it wasn't really the prettiest showing, but hey, it happens. Yeah. Saturday. What did I do Saturday? Oh, I worked on Saturday. Sunday, football was back, and so that was huge. And just chilling at my parents' place and everything. Being able to watch the games and stuff was a lot of fun until the Bears lost. We will also get there. But yeah, and then Monday was the main thing. So my girlfriend came over, bless her heart, and gave me some presents and stuff, really cool stuff. By the way, this bracelet I didn't even show you. It tracks a shark. It's really cool.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
I've got a hammerhead shark named Poseidon that is in the northeast corner of our country.
That's like near Maine.
Yes, yep, just about there. But he was released in Florida in 2022, in June of 2022. He swam around that Gulf, and then from there kind of booked his way up north, and that's where he's at right now. But he's really cool. It's really cool to be able to do that. And then I also got the jersey that I'm wearing right now, but I will get to that just because it's funny. Anyways, let's dive right into it. We'll get into the week 1 review. So the Lions beat the Chiefs. Yes, the Lions beat the Chiefs 21-20. The Browns beat the Bengals 24-3. By the way, if you have any comments about any of them,
I was going to say, I'm just going to – lots of stuff this week. It's probably not going to be this heavy every week in terms of like how much I'm going to step in and say something. It's just this is week one, and everyone likes to overreact to week one, so it's fun.
Yeah.
But no, that Browns-Bengals game, Joe Burrow just looked like an absolute buns. Like he looked really, really bad. I have no clue what happened.
14 for 31 for 82 yards is a horrible stat line for the most paid NFL player in history. And Deshaun Watson threw probably the ugliest interception I think I've ever seen. He saw a ghost and just decided to go for it. That was horrible. 16 for 29, 154 yards, a touchdown and an interception for him.
I wonder when we're going to have to start having a conversation of will he ever return to being the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson? Last year, fine, you can give him a mulligan, but I think now if he continues to be bad, I mean, it was already a bad trade for the Browns, but I think we're going to have to start talking a little bit about how bad that is in a few weeks if he continues to play this bad.
Absolutely. So anyways, yes, it's going to be interesting to see them take on the Steelers. Obviously, we'll get there as well. Ravens killed the Texans 25-9. Buccaneers beat the Vikings 20-17, and Baker Mayfield didn't actually look all that bad. 21 for 34, 173 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Not a bad stat line for a guy that had very low expectations coming into the season. And the Vikings, man, they just did not live up to their expectations. I don't know what your thoughts are on the Vikings right now, but I'm sure, it's not very great.
I'll get into it in a little bit.
Yeah. Falcons beat the Panthers 24-10. Bryce Young didn't really look all that spectacular, but he got his first touchdown and they threw it into the stands. So that was cool.
Yeah.
I hope he got that ball back. Commanders beat the Cardinals 20-16 in an absolute dumpster fire game.
Close one. The Cardinals looked way better than what they probably should have. And the question there is, was that because the Cardinals might be better than what we thought and we're overlooking them a little bit?
Yeah.
Or is it because
Josh Dobbs, is he a good quarterback?
I mean, I think he's a replacement level quarterback, but
Geno Smith type 2023? I'm just kidding.
Josh Dobbs, but is it the Cardinals are better than we thought, or the more likely answer are the Commanders worse than we thought? We'll see.
Jaguars beat the Colts 31-21.
Colts look good.
Calvin Ridley didn't look bad at all, man. You could probably, vouch for me there just because he's on your fantasy team. And I tried to pry him from you, but you just wouldn't give him up.
Was not happy.
Shout out to, by the way, I know we announced this as well, but Steven, our social media manager, shout out to him for the commissioner job that he's been doing recently in our fantasy league and improving these trades a little bit quicker for us so that our lineups are a little bit different before Thursday. Absolute awesome job from him.
I guess since we're here, by the way, I got Nick Chubb from Ryan. He got the meat and potatoes was I got Nick Chubb's. He got CeeDee Lamb. I picked up CeeDee Lamb from a trade. Prior to that, I owned CeeDee Lamb for maybe 5 minutes, and then I flipped CeeDee Lamb for Nick Chubb. I'm happy that happened as well. So that's fun. Wheeling and dealing this week for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I traded Romeo Doubs and Justice Hill for Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp. So that was also in that deal that we
considered a birthday present from Wobbles.
Yeah. Also in that deal, I also received James Cook from Ben, and he got Alexander Madison. So just a couple running back swaps there. 49ers beat the Steelers 30-7. Steelers looked horrible in that game.
I don't even think it was the Steelers, though. I think it was just how good the Niners defense looked. We were saying the Niners defense was really, really good last year. The Niners defense this year might rival the Bears defense. And that might be a sin to say on this podcast, knowing we have a lot of Chicago listeners, but they were that defense is it's terrifying.
Saints beat the Titans 16-15. Very good game there. Raiders beat the Broncos 17-16 in another 1-point game. Eagles beat the Patriots 25-20. What are your thoughts on that one, man? Was
Dude,
that one
that
tough to
game
watch?
was way closer than what it should have been. The Eagles went up 16-0 at the end of first, and then they had 3 straight 4-and-outs. It was a little rough. I just think it had a lot to do with this, like not a single starter played in the preseason. So I just think it was like rust, and then like because they looked really good in the first quarter and the third quarter, but second and fourth, I just think they were probably a little bit worn out just because they didn't play at all. And all I'm going to say now is I'm not willing to crucify our OC yet and Brian Johnson for his play calling, but there's definitely a difference between him and Shane Steichen. So we'll see how
Just be
that
happy it's
changes
not
throughout
Luke
the
Getsy.
season.
Rams
and
beat the
Jalen Carter
Seahawks.
killed it, by the way. Like,
Huge
I'll have
debut.
to talk. What?
Huge debut. That was awesome.
Yeah. Like huge. I think like week like 6 or 7, if I remember, we'll have to do a little bit of like rookie update for offensive defensive rookie of the year. But that's like 5 weeks from now. Lord knows I'll probably forget by then. But yeah, no, dude absolutely killed it. He had like 8 pressures, which is like the most by any defensive tackle like in the history for their first game. A sack. He looked really good. So
Rams beat the Seahawks 30-13. Crazy right there. Unexpected.
yeah.
Dolphins beat the Chargers 36-34. That's like game of the week
game
right
was-
there to me.
Oh, that game was great.
38-20, Bears lost to the Packers. I'll get back to that here in just a few minutes. Cowboys beat the brakes off the Giants, and then the Jets, despite no Aaron Rodgers after the first drive, still beat the Bills 22-16. And Zach Wilson came out slinging the ball 140 or 14 for 21, 140, a touchdown and interception. Not bad in his return. This is his team now, but anyways,
I guess we hadn't quite gotten to it at that point, but I mean, I'm sure if you guys are listening to this, you guys know at this point that Aaron Rodgers popped his Achilles, so he is out for the season. So
yeah. So I want to talk about the Bears just a little bit, just because it's probably going to be super entertaining for maybe 10 minutes or so. I don't want to go over. So anyways, yeah, because we advertised for it this week. I said that Justin Fields is not the problem. I'm not saying that he is the main problem by any means. He's still a problem in a sense to where he needs to trust his receivers more downfield. The play calling was horrible. When you watch preseason ball and everything, seeing how they test the waters out and everything like that, he was throwing the ball more downfield. You saw that pass to DJ Moore that like broke off and got that 64, or no, that was still a screenplay. That was like the one screenplay that worked. But like, you know, there was a lot of yards after the catch from DJ Moore in the preseason to where, you know, I believe he got like a first down in the preseason against the Bills, and it was right over the middle and everything. He got hit and then he ran just a little bit more. But like you're still seeing more and more downfield passes in the preseason just for it to amount to absolutely nothing in the regular season. I still think that Fields is the guy as of week 1 and week 2. It's definitely not all on him. Bears Twitter overreacted a bunch following the loss, just because everybody's emotions were just so up in the air. People were saying tank for Caleb Williams and trade off Fields after accepting his 5th year. You know, fire everybody type thing. It was like, dude, it's 1 week, and I know that it's against the Packers and everything, and I know it's frustrating. But dude, once they went down before the Darnell Mooney touchdown, I believe they were down by like 14 points or maybe 17 points or something like that. I was like, this is over. Just at this point, you know, just give up, like chalk it up to a loss, try out a couple new things, and then from there, like it's done. But Fields' stats on Sunday, I don't know if you were keeping track of it. Now, you know, his stats on Sunday weren't horrible. I know that he fumbled the ball and everything like that, and he also he turned over the ball twice. It was an interception that looked pretty bad, but it was also a fumble. And you and I both have seen him make those strikes, man. Those down the
Yeah.
field, in between, like tight window passes in the preseason and in training camp and everything. And he did force that ball, but he's made that throw before.
Yeah.
I'm not even mad about it, honestly. The game was over. Like, it's not like it was a big moment to where he just gave it up.
My issue
really,
with it too, like in
Yeah.
terms of Bears Twitter, I would say, and sorry for cutting you off there,
No, you're
like
good.
there was so much emphasis on like Justin Fields and the bad offensive play calling and so on and so forth. And I didn't see much about the defense. And I think that is like an issue that like no one, I've seen the occasional person talk about it, but like you, and props to Jordan Love. Jordan Love absolutely killed it. Like I'm a Jordan Love supporter, and I have been since he went to college at Utah State. Like he was my guy coming out of the draft. But the fact that you guys let him, for all intents and purposes, absolutely tear up your defense is just shocking. Like I don't
Did
know
you
how
watch
you
the
guys
same
let
game
some
that I
dude
did?
who has never started, well, like started 2 games in his career, step in and
Dude.
do that. And I think the defense, I don't want to say was supposed to be what you like hung your hat on this year, but you guys went out and you guys paid big money for linebackers. You guys had a tandem of safeties that you guys thought were going to be really, really good. You guys have a really good corner. Another one you just drafted in the second round this year, and then another one you drafted in the second round last year. And guys that you invested in on like D tackle this year. And it just, the defense was what you were supposed to hang your hat on. And for them to let Jordan Love come in here at like for his actual like first start was just a little bit shocking. And I feel like there wasn't enough people talking about that specifically.
Let me just break, because did you watch this game, or did you were you watching this one? I know that were the Eagles on at the same time.
Yeah, the Eagles were on at the same time. I was bouncing back and forth between the two games.
I was gonna say,
obviously,
so
we're talking about the Eagles game, but
so let me just break this down really quick. So the Romeo Doubs 8-yard pass was like wide open for no reason. Eddie Jackson played like trash, and I'll give that to him. Great read by Jordan Love. And then let's see, the next one was an Aaron Jones 1-yard run. And then there was an Aaron Jones 35-yard pass. And like, it's not like it was a bunch of air yards. It was literally just like
pass was wild. He just took it and ran.
It was him working his magic. So it's not even air yards there. So, I mean, if you want to criticize Fields so much for air yards, Jordan Love would have been 14 for 26 and 210 yards and 2 touchdowns without that Aaron Jones touchdown. Okay, that's great. That's fine. It happened. It's fine. Romeo Doubs 4-yard pass from Jordan Love. That was just, I mean, at this point, man, whatever. You know what I mean? But like ultimately, dude, this, as much as I know that the stats tell the story in a very limited amount, this was not the Jordan Love show. Everybody is wrong here. Like, as much as, I mean, dude, I promise you,
I don't think it was a Jordan Love show. I agree. I don't think it was a Jordan Love show.
No, but
I think it was the Bears being a disaster on defense show. And
no, that's fine. I'll chalk that up. I'm just saying, Aaron Jones altogether, right? 127 yards on 9 carries and 2 catches and 2 touchdowns. Like Aaron Jones, it was the Aaron Jones show. It wasn't Jordan Love. It was Aaron Jones. And the most, and I'll just dive into a little bit more, right? So because my Fields points were done. I was going to touch on the defense. Okay, here's the thing.
Okay,
I'll touch on a couple things. Okay, I could say 2 more things about the offense and then I'm done. So Claypool, thanks for absolutely freaking nothing, bud. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Where was all this offseason hype of, oh well, I'm training off camera, blah blah. Dude, you did nothing, and you might get benched this week for Equinemius St. Brown. Like, that shows you something. Also, I'm wearing the DJ Moore jersey that my girlfriend got me that has the number 2 on it for the 2 targets he had all game. You trade for this guy in the number 1 overall pick, and you target him twice in 1 game. That's stupid, man. That's stupid. He's your wide receiver 1. Target him more and be more confident in your receivers. That's Justin Fields' problem. He holds the ball too long in the pocket. He doesn't read it as fast as he wanted, and he's not throwing the 50-50 ball. He's got receivers
like saying
and more that could go up and grab it. And in the press conference today, Fields acknowledged this and said, like, I got to be more aware of that. I got to get the ball out a little bit quicker, and I have to let the 50-50 ball just happen, because it's either going to be an incompletion, it's either going to be a pass interference, or my receiver's gonna come up with it. He's just, it's that simple. So you go into that and you're like, okay, that's great. That's a great idea. However, you had $92 million in the offseason, and your offensive line produced like the last place offensive line in the league still. Nate Davis, despite the fact that, oh no, wait a minute, he didn't show up to practice during the offseason.
I was going to say, he didn't practice at all in the offseason.
It was awful. And he's over here. I watched an hour-long YouTube video from your, what is it, QB school or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just for Justin Fields, and that offensive line is horrible. Cole Kmet had a horrible game. Blocking, his route running was horrible. It was just altogether a messy game from the offensive side, and that's why they're getting so scrutinized because of it. Now, we look at the defensive side of the ball. Like I said, you had $92 million, and you invested a lot of draft capital in that defensive line, all for it to amount to absolutely nothing. You had no pressures whatsoever for Jordan Love to make that debut and everything that he did, to go out and absolutely did he? The thing is, it was a good first game. I'll give him that. Mm-hmm. It was not like, the media is portraying like, oh my God, Jordan Love is the next great Packers quarterback, blah, blah. Easy. Okay. Listen, I'm not saying that just because I'm a Bears fan. I'm saying that because of analyzing this. Because if I promise you, during that entire game, I was not scared of Jordan Love. I was scared of Aaron Jones. And the second that Aaron Jones went out was when everything started to be like, okay, this is fine. And then Justin Fields threw a pick six, and then it was done. Here's the thing, though. You talk about the secondary that was supposed to be better, right? Tyreek Stevenson played okay. But he also got an unsportsmanlike warning that almost got him ejected early on. Eddie Jackson, you're supposed to be a captain, and you played like crap. You are the crapton now, and as far as this podcast goes. Jaquan Brisker, not really quite sure as of what he did. The only guy that showed up on defense was Tremaine Edmonds, and he's your linebacker. Even though he's supposed to take charge in this defense, he didn't. That's not his job, is to be the absolute surveyor. He needs more support. That's why there's 11 men on the field. Okay, now Yannick did okay. He had a sack on the day. That's good, right? That's cool.
TJ led the team in tackles.
Good for him, man. But I didn't notice that.
14
unless
tackles, man.
He
saying, almost
that's
doubled
great.
Tremaine's.
So our linebackers are cool. You invested that money that you could have spent on Roquan into some linebackers that are competent. That's awesome. But where's the rest of your defense? You have no pass rush. You have no run stop. I mean, there's nothing there. And Chris Jones just signed his deal, so that's off the table if you even contemplated that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just sloppiness, and it needs tidied up. And here's the thing, and I will end this right here on this comment. Luke Getsy, if you don't get your crap together against Tampa Bay, the season's over. It's that simple. Matt Eberflus, if you don't get the defense figured out, your little hits principle that was supposed to be so good, if you don't figure that out with your new defense, you're done. I'm done. I'm so fed up with it. I understand it's a second year. I want him out. I don't care, because that's the culture that you instill on your team. We're going to bring in these guys. We're going to be great. It's going to be okay. We're going to take the division. And what does he do with it? He turns it into a 38-20 loss. Like, congratulations, buddy. Your team's garbage. Like, not really too much else to really break down there. The only part that kept me optimistic about it is knowing that DJ Moore only had 2 targets. And it's like, there's only up from there. The man should have had like easily 7, 8, maybe 9 targets on the day. And he had 2. Like, if you're a wide receiver 1 in the NFL and at that caliber of DJ Moore,
you should have more than 2 targets.
Dude's 1,000-yard receiver like every single year, and you're not going to give it to him. Darnell Mooney had more targets and catches than he did. Okay, that's concerning. Like, he's your wide receiver 2. I understand. Like, if you're going to separate it, that's fine. I lied. The only other thing that was keeping me optimistic was the fact that Darnell Wright didn't play bad in his debut. I was very happy about that. He did allow a couple pressures that made me upset in the moment, but after further analyzation, I was pretty happy about that. And yeah, because I was yelling at my dad for some reason, like he did something wrong. I was like, we gave up Jalen Carter for this bum. Jalen Carter's like doing amazing things right now, and we gave him up for this. And so, I mean, that's what he's got to live up to, unfortunately. But that's just that's it. I don't think Fields is the problem. I think he's just got to learn how to trust some receivers, because last year, who did he have to trust? Like, you know what I mean? Mooney was out. Claypool was just garbage. Let's move on.
The one last thing again. That's my only, like, you touched on everything again. The defense concerned me. The play calling was and then the Darnell Mooney thing again. Your wide receiver one, unless you play within an offense that has like two wide receiver ones, like AJ or Devontae, or like, I don't want to say wide receiver one, but like a T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, unless you play in an offense as like two really good elite wide receivers, there is no reason your wide receiver one should only be seeing 2 targets a game. Like you said, Justin Fields does need, I would not say this is his fault, but he does need to figure a little bit of things out.
That's my point. And is as much as I am biased on this podcast, obviously we've spent about like 15 minutes on this. I wanted to keep it as straight as possible with everybody, just because of it, you know. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on.
Ryan and Ben bring you weekly news.
So we're just going to kind of zoom past this a little bit, just because we do have a little bit more to get to. Aaron Rodgers and J.K. Dobbins both suffer a torn Achilles in week 1. Ben, if I forget about literally anything, please let me know. I didn't really want to put down every injury.
You're good.
Lael Collins got cut by the Bengals after being on the PUP list. And then Chris Jones signed a new 1-year deal with the Chiefs to end the holdout. And then Travis Kelce also returned to practice as well in full capacity. That's really it, but there's one little tidbit that I learned today that's really, really cool, and I wanted to share this with you just because of our Gridiron Goof segment that we haven't done in a while. When the Jaguars play the Falcons on London on October 1st, an alternate broadcast. Have you heard of this, by the way?
The Toy Story stuff?
Yeah, the alternate broadcast on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus will be fully animated in real time, Toy Story themed. I'm going to tune into that, man. I think that's really cool. I will wake up early for that. Yeah. Animated in real time, dude. That's awesome. Is there anything else news-wise that you want to touch on? I know some of your Eagles are hurt, but like nothing really too massive, you know. DeAndre Swift getting some touches today or this week.
I hope so. Well, I don't hope Kenny Gainwell's hurt, but I hope DeAndre Swift does with Kenny Gainwell not playing. So,
do we consider Kareem Hunt in that offense because he's a free agent? Sign him to a minimum deal. Yeah.
No, the Eagles have way too many running backs. I think, I don't want to say sneaky at this point, but I think a fun place to see Kareem Hunt go would be the Ravens.
Yes. Yeah. So, which would let me win that trade even more. Anyways. All right. I got some stuff cooking up for us. Let's move on.
They say winning isn't everything, and that may be true in some cases, but right now, let's make some money. It's time for Pigskin Payout.
Let's go. So last week we went 2 for 5, just because the Steelers disappointed us, and I had 2 of them there. And I think that if Aaron Rodgers was healthy, we would have hit that 46.5 total points thing, but fortunately that did not happen. Instead, I've got a lot of stuff, and really, like I said, I'm not diving in too much for each game just because it's only Wednesday as we're recording this, and there's not really a lot out for each game until about game day. So right now I'm just looking at face value and everything. And I want you to tell me what you think. So
again, this is your money. Do with it what you want.
Yes. Oh yes, yeah. We are not responsible whatsoever for your losses or anything like that. Please gamble responsibly, is what he means. Anyways, so under 49 total points, Vikings versus Eagles on Thursday Night Football.
On 49?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one. The Eagles' offense was kind of disappointing, and I would hope to think the Eagles' defense is better than the Bucks. So I
Vikings,
think you're
yeah.
gonna sweat that one out a little bit because last year I'm pretty sure it went over that, but
Mhm.
I think it could hit for sure.
Over 40.5 total points, Bears versus Buccaneers.
No.
Bears still put
I
up 20 points against that Packers defense, despite the fact that their offense sucked.
I would stay away from that, but I'm not a big fan of that one, personally.
Over 45.5 Chargers versus Titans.
Over 45 Chargers. I like that because of the Chargers offense, but the Titans offense was kind of really butt. So you're really banking on the Steelers or the Chargers to have like a field day within this offense and score like 30 points, which they totally could.
Yeah.
I want that to be known. Like the Chargers could absolutely have a field day. So it's definitely possible, but
Seahawks plus 5.5 at Lions.
oh, I need you to go away with that. I was going to talk about that later, but yes, I like that. Yes.
Giants minus 5.5, and they are taking on the Cardinals.
I think this would be a good time to, I don't want to say buy low on the Giants because the Giants played like butt, so everyone's a little bit scared to bet on them. And I think the Cardinals shocked everyone a little bit. So that line is probably the best you're going to get it at. But
Yeah.
the Giants still scare me a little bit. They
like that.
Hopkins.
I think their run game is going to take off this week.
I hope so because it was not good last week at all.
Non-existent. Cowboys minus 9.5 against the Jets.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
All right. That'll do it for that. We will check back in. Obviously, 2 out of 5 is not the greatest start. So I felt like these were the ones that really caught my eye that I was like, I really feel good about this one. The only one, after thinking about it again, that I'm kind of iffy about is the Chargers versus Titans over 45.5 total points because it looks like the Titans are going to be running the ball a little bit more. But who knows? Maybe those 50-50 balls will come up in DeAndre Hopkins' favor.
I will say, I think, obviously not this week because it's already gone. I think it'd be fun for you to start throwing like player props in there as well.
I would like to. Yeah, like I said, it's a little tricky just because they don't really come out until later on in the week, but I might be able to put something together on a week-to-week basis for Thursday Night Football for those of you that, listen in and want to do that. So anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
Just when you thought it was safe to play the underdog, we put you on Upset Alert.
All right, so Upset Alert. I've got 3 games. How many you got?
I have a lot of games I want to talk about, but not a lot of like ones I would consider to be like an upset. I think I only have 3.
I have Ravens at Bengals.
Okay.
Ravens upsetting the Bengals there. 49ers at Rams. Rams upsetting the 49ers there.
Wow, that one is steaming.
See, this is the thing. I'm probably not gonna pick them to win just because I want to win this week. But I think that it could happen. And then Dolphins at Patriots. I think the Patriots might be able to pull it off. After their tough start against the Eagles, I think that's interesting.
Okay.
Something to watch.
So we're on the same page on a little bit there. I have the Seahawks over the Lions. I think the Lions are riding pretty high. But like Patrick Mahomes without his best weapon, and without his best offensive weapon, and without the best defensive weapon, and with some like a couple like plays like that went the other way, they absolutely should have won that. So I think I'm still a little worried about the Lions, and I think the Seahawks are looking to bounce back. So that is a game I do have the upset actually happening. I have the Seahawks winning. I'm going to say the Buccaneers, but I don't know. That's one of the games that could win either way. So we're just going to glide past that one. Me and you were on the same page with the Pats and Dolphins. I'm not going to have the Pats win, but I definitely think they absolutely could because they gave that Eagles offense probably more struggle than what they should have. The next one is Steelers versus Browns. That's the third one. Or that's the second one that I have like the underdog actually winning in. I think the Steelers are looking to have a bounce back game. And quite honestly, if the Browns were playing any other team than a Buns Joe Burrow, they absolutely would have lost because they did not look too good themselves on offense. The Jags beating the Chiefs, which that one is still pretty hot. And that one I do have like the Jags actually winning. And then the last one, which I said we'll get into a little bit earlier in the podcast. Again, I don't have the Vikings winning, but I absolutely could see the Vikings winning. The Eagles defense didn't look too good. And I think the Vikings offense is better than what the Patriots offense, I don't know why I said it like that, better than what the Patriots offense is. And it's Thursday night. They're coming off a game where a couple of their guys are injured. Jay Jetta came out saying, like there's a lot of tension in the locker room after what happened last year. The Eagles won. It's just one of those games that I could absolutely see the Vikings win and the Eagles kind of choking it because the Eagles don't quite look like that same team that we saw last year. So
interesting. All right. Let's go ahead and get started and, predict these games here.
You think you know football? Well, prove it. This is Pigskin Pick'em.
All right. So this week, Ben, you beat me because the only game that we disagreed on was the Bears and Packers one. Those stupid Packers. You're 9-6 on the season. I'm 8-7. Starting off, Vikings at Eagles. What are you thinking?
I'm going to have the Eagles winning this one. But like I said, I'm not too confident as I would have hoped to be. But it's funny because I said the same thing last year and the Eagles absolutely murked them. But I'm going to have the Eagles win 26-21.
I have Eagles 31-20.
Wow.
I think the Eagles defense is going to have a big day here against Kirk Cousins.
I sure hope so.
Me too, because Tom Gorski, I don't know if you've seen me add him on Twitter or not, but he's like we've had him on the show. I'm stupid. Very annoying Vikings fan, and I just want to rub it in his face.
Marcus Davenport, how did he do week 1? Oh wait, he didn't.
Yeah. As expected as well. Anyways. Starting off in the noon games, Ravens at Bengals. What do you think?
This makes me really happy to hear that we disagree already on this because I heard you mention them. I'm going to have the Bengals winning. I'm going to have the Bengals bounce back. Again, it was unlike Burrow. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, this is at the Bengals Stadium?
This is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I'm going to have the Bengals win this one, and it's going to be a complete opposite of what they looked like last week. I'm going to have them winning 35-25.
All right. I have the Ravens 24-21. Let's see. Seahawks 23-17 is what I have for Seahawks and Lions. I just misread the next line over.
Yeah.
Seahawks at Lions. What do you think?
It's funny that you had your last score as that because I'm going to have the Seahawks winning this one 24-21.
Okay.
I think so far we've only agreed on the Eagles game.
Well, no, we both have the Seahawks winning, and then we have the Eagles. So right now, the only one is we've deferred on is the Ravens and Bengals. Colts at Texans. How much you have the Colts winning by?
Yeah, right, right. The Colts looked way better than I thought they were going to look until Anthony Richardson kind of went rogue. I don't know if you saw that. He took off the armband and threw it at the sideline and started kind of running what he wanted to run, and then he got put in concussion protocol and. It was
which, by
thing.
the way,
he can't
full participant in practice today. He'll be good.
Yeah. And to my point, though, like even if he wasn't a go, I still would have had them winning because the go backs him up. So, yeah, I'm gonna have the Colts. I'm gonna have the Colts win 24-17.
Speaking of quarterbacks that ran their own plays, you know that Darnell Mooney touchdown catch from Fields in the 2-minute warning?
Yeah.
So the Bears, Fields was talking about it today in a presser. The Bears in a 2-minute drill are so like they have faith in Fields to the point to where during a 2-minute drill they give Fields the playbook and tell him like run what you want to run. That was his plays. That was what he wanted to run, and it resulted in a score. So confirmed, Justin Fields is a better OC than Luke Getsy. Anyways, Bears at Buccaneers. What do you think?
I'm sorry, buddy.
That's fine.
I talked about it a little bit already. The Bucs won last week. I definitely think the Bears could win, but I am gonna have the Bucs winning this one in a not so fun game. The score is not going to quite reflect it. It's going to be 21-17 Bucs, but the game is just not going to be fun. Like it's just going to be a barn burner. No one's going to want to watch it. It's going to be boring. You're going to come back and be like, "What did we just watch?"
Yeah. This is stupid, but I'll pick the Bears here because they're my team. Bears win 28-24. Chiefs at Jaguars.
Yeah, as I said in the upset alert segment, I'm gonna have the Jaguars win this one. It's gonna be a close one, just like the Lions game was. I know that both their guys are back now, and Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, but the Jags just looked really like the Jags looked good. And Patrick Mahomes really needs another weapon outside of Travis Kelce. So yeah, I'm gonna have the Jags win this one, 28-26.
All right. Packers at Falcons. Oh no, I have Chiefs winning 31-30.
Okay.
Anyways, Packers at Falcons.
I think this one was probably the toughest one for me to pick outside of the game we'll get down to a little bit later. Just because I could absolutely see Bijan having like a game where we're just like, yes, this is the game that we start to remember him as an offensive like rookie of the year and whatnot. So I'm going to say the Packers. I hope Christian Watson is back this week. So I'm going to say the Packers in this one. And I'm going to say 28-21.
I have Packers 23-14.
Okay.
Raiders at Bills.
Yeah, even though Josh
you have the
Allen looked
Bills?
like buns throwing like 3 interceptions, I think they'll get a bounce back. This one's pretty easy for me. This is gonna be 28-10 Bills.
All right. I have 27-17 Bills.
Okay.
Chargers at Titans.
Like I said, I have no confidence in the Titans offense to move the ball at all. It's going to be really rough. I'm going to have the Chargers winning this one pretty handedly. I'm going to say 24-13.
I have Chargers the same exact score.
There you go.
49ers at Rams.
I'm much more confident in my pick when I say the Niners than what you are. I think the Niners, like I said, have the best defense in the league. And I think the Rams were just fortunate to play the Seahawks with a bad game. I still think the Rams do not have a good roster at all. So I'm going to have the Niners winning this one. And by the way, Purdy, I talked about how I was worried about Purdy being a pumpkin. But Purdy looked like he just left off right where he was before. Like that Brandon Ayuk, his first touchdown catch, that was a thing of beauty for sure.
that was great for sure.
Yes. So
what's your?
Yeah, I'm gonna have the Niners winning this one pretty easy. I'm gonna have them winning 31-10.
I have 31-17 Niners. Giants at Cardinals.
Like I said, this game might be a little bit closer than what people think, but I do think the Giants are gonna have a bounce back game, and I think people are a little bit lower on them after playing that just absolutely horrifying Cowboys defense. So I'm gonna have the Giants winning 24-.
24 to what? I'm sorry.
13.
Okay. I have Giants 18 to 13. Jets at Cowboys.
I'm gonna have the Jets I'm gonna have the Jets lose this one. I'm gonna have the Cowboys win this one. Just clearly, Zach Wilson isn't it. I mean, Zach Wilson might look better than what he did last year, but again, Zach Wilson still just is not it here. I'm gonna have the Cowboys winning. What did they win last week? I'm gonna say 35 to 10. And give me 1 second here, guys. I'm gonna step away for like 10 seconds.
I have the Cowboys winning 28 to 16 in that one. And then we have 4 games left. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill some time just by giving my predictions out. There he is. Okay, never mind. We are back here. Commanders at Broncos. I'll start us off because Ben's still muted. Broncos 27 to 17 is what I have. Ben, welcome back. I think.
Yes. Like I said, it was a question of whether or not are the Cardinals good or the Commanders bad. I think it's far more likely the Commanders are bad. While Russell Wilson didn't have a killer game, he looked better than what he did pretty much all of last year. So I'm going to have the Broncos winning this one 27 to 21.
All right. I have 27-17 Broncos. Now to Sunday Night Football, Dolphins at Patriots.
Dolphins. Yeah. No, that was an absolute shootout last week. Tyreek Hill had an amazing game. I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. Absolutely helped me. I don't know where I would have been without him because my quarterbacks don't give up.
He carried me this week in my keeper league.
I have Lamar. Lamar had like 6 points. He just
215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 11 catches in a PPR league. That's crazy.
Yeah. I will have the Dolphins winning 28 to 24.
I have 34 to 23. Dolphins, obviously. Saints at Panthers, Monday Night Football.
Like I said, that Packers game was really rough, but then I said there was another game down the slate here. This was the other one. This division's just like a dogfight. Like they are just like, you never know who's going to come out on top here. This one's just really hard for me to pick. I settled with the Saints just because the Panthers have a rookie quarterback, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bryce Young just like pops off for some reason. Because again, this division is just this division, and then the NFC or AFC North, the Browns Steelers division, whatever that is. Like these two divisions are just absolute dogfights. You can never know what happens in these. But I'm gonna have the Steelers winning. I'm gonna have the Saints winning in a very, very close one, 21 to 17.
I have 26 to 17 Saints. Browns at Steelers.
I slipped up reading off my script, as you guys probably picked up, but I do have the Steelers winning. I'm not quite there on Deshaun. Again, we're gonna have to start having a conversation of what kind of quarterback he's going to be. Steelers are looking to bounce back. I'm going to have the Steelers win 24 to 17.
I have 23-21 Browns. So that'll do it for that.
So what did we differ on? 3?
We differed on Browns and Steelers. Let's see here. Chiefs and Jaguars, Bears and Buccaneers. Ravens and Bengals. So 4.
4. Okay. A little bit of variety, a little bit of spice in your life.
Sprinkle it in there. I was just thinking while you were gone, it might be fun. Like if I have an extra $5 a week, I might like throw it in a parlay for like my early like noon games and just see like if I could get all of them correct, because there have been weeks to where we've gotten them correct.
Yeah.
And like undefeated throughout that. So like, let's say Ravens win, Seahawks win, Colts win, Bears win, Chiefs win, Packers win, Bills win, Chargers win. That doesn't seem too far-fetched.
No.
And so if we were to do that, I just for fun, as an extension of Pigskin Payout, I'm going to build this in current time numbers, right?
I will let you build that if you want to move on to the next segment, because that's mainly me. And
And then
then
we'll come
you can
back
cut
to
me
it.
off when it's built.
All right, no problem. Let's get into it.
Pro football isn't the only game in town. Let's take a stroll to Ben's College Corner.
Nice. All you, buddy.
Hi guys.
Hello again.
Hello again. Get nice and intimate in this segment.
Absolutely.
Now, again, college football for the most part, the first few weeks are always pretty just like there's not much going on and whatnot. The one game that I told you guys to focus on last week was the Texas versus Alabama game. Texas came out victorious, which probably already means Alabama's knocked out of the playoffs unless they pull out some, something crazy happens or Georgia loses and Alabama ends up winning the SEC chip or something. But Texas right now looks like a very, very like tough team, and there's at least a solid chance that they might make the college football playoffs. The other team that I just will continue just pumping your guys' brains full of is Florida State content. Florida State just, I mean, again, they haven't
Sorry.
played. You're good.
This is 8-pick parlay for my picks. Okay. $5 would pay out $905.55.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. And then with yours, so the main thing, I don't think that yours is going to be as much just because I had a couple. Actually, you know what? Yours might actually be pretty decent. You had the Seahawks as well. Yours would pay out, so let's say $5, right? $746.20. And I have a no sweat bet, so I'm gonna do it. But anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
You're doing mine or yours?
I'm gonna do mine.
I was gonna say, I was like,
just for fun. Yeah, I might
of
throw the
course,
Eagles
yeah.
in there just because I think that that's a thing. But anyways, continue.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, but I'm going to continue pumping your guys' brains full of Florida State football. They continue to impress. Again, they have this week. They only play, I think it was like Southern Miss. So it wasn't anything crazy, but they absolutely whooped on Southern Miss like the way you would hope a team like this would. They end up winning like 66-10 or something. And really outside of this game next week, which we'll get to in a little bit, I don't really see a loss on their schedule, like at all. So we're really pulling for the Noles here. And that segues nice into the games that I want to talk about. As far as this week, there's going to be the Florida versus Boston College. This game normally would not be a game that I would throw on here because I'm pretty confident Florida State is going to win this one. Boston College just has not looked good. But this is BC's red bandana game. For those who don't know what that is, I'm going to look this up for you guys. As most of you guys know, this past week, what was September 11th, and there's this big story about how there was this guy running in and out of one of the towers wearing a red bandana, and he saved like 17, like he saved like a lot of people. So now Boston College has this like this red bandana print on one of their jerseys, and they seem to absolutely, like, every single time they wear the red bandana jerseys, they just whoop on teams. So I'm a little bit concerned for that. Here is a picture for those who have not seen the red bandana jerseys. I think these are some of the most cleanest jerseys in like all of college football. Just absolutely stellar jerseys. I think they are.
So good.
Yes, very, very good. So that is why I had this game on here. And it's always like it's good. And then the next one I have is South Carolina versus Georgia. Of course, I'm gonna have Georgia winning it. Georgia's number one team in the country and whatnot. But South Carolina is always gonna be a team I think you should at least be worried about a little bit because they do have a good quarterback. And I think this game is going to be a little bit closer than what people are predicting it to be. And then College game day this week is actually be Colorado versus Colorado State. I'm going to be quite frank with you guys. I have no clue why this is College game day. Colorado is going to absolutely whoop up on Colorado State. I think they should have waited like 2 more weeks for Colorado to play USC. That would have been a great game day. Shedeur Sanders has just been on an absolute tear. Like Shedeur Sanders looks like one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football right now. And then for the last game to watch, speaking of best college football quarterbacks right now, is going to be Washington versus Michigan State. There's some news about Michigan State, which I will get to in just a second. But Michael Penix has been, again, on absolute tear. Dude looks like better than even what he looked like in his breakout year when he played here at IU. Like dude might be playing himself into being a day one conversation or like a day one pick at quarterback here this upcoming draft. And then as far as the news here in Michigan State fired their head coach, Mel Tucker, for reasons that I don't feel comfortable talking about on this podcast. If
Google
you guys
exists.
want to look it up, yeah, Google exists. If you guys want to look it up, just like look it up. There's some gripes I have with it. Again, I'm not going to quite say why he got fired, but the Michigan State program bugs me a little bit with that because the reason he got fired or the allegations as to why he got fired have been like going on for like 3 or 4 months now. But then as soon as like ESPN broke it is when they decided to make the fire. As soon as like it was made public, that's when Michigan State's like, oh, maybe we should fire him. So it bugs me a little bit that it took that for the news to get out for them, for Michigan State to fire them. I think if you were going to fire someone for this, as they should, by the way, you should have just fired him when stuff happened. So it is annoying that they waited until the public figured out, like, just do the right thing and fire him when you were supposed to fire him. But yeah, nope, those are the games to cover this week. And then, as I said, next week is supposed to be the week when we're actually getting like really good games to watch, really good games that we're no longer like, you know, that are easy picks and whatnot. So it starts to get fun next week. So come back next week for College Corner, which I'll probably spend more than like 5 minutes on. So come back for that.
All right.
It's time for America's favorite game, Weddle.
Let's get right into it, buddy. So I need something big here because you're up by you've officially won 30 times on the podcast. Unbelievable.
Oh, no.
But anyways,
I almost played today too, not even thinking about it. Because again, I was like sick. I didn't even go to class today. I was like sitting in bed. I'm like, what to do? And I was like, Weddle. Except for some reason I thought today was Thursday, but I'm like, no, we didn't do the podcast. Today's Wednesday.
I'll let you go first. You want AJ Brown?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So he's a 26-year-old.
Yeah. In the NFC. Tall. High number. Probably tight end. Cole Kmet.
I don't think. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that old yet.
No. Okay. Hold on.
Oh, it's got to be. I know
TJ.
who it is. Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's get her done here.
See, you've brainwashed me enough that like I picked Cole Kmet over TJ Hawkinson with your Bears. Unbelievable.
Wearing the orange jerseys this week, baby.
Anyways.
Yeah, I know. Dude, side note really quick. They wore
Dude, they need to change. Is the center field changed? I wasn't paying attention to that. They need to change it.
I know. So they at practice the quarterbacks have to wear a different color jersey. And so last week they wore the orange jerseys at practice. This week they did the navy and they wore the orange helmets during practice. So navy with orange helmets looks pretty good, but they had the white pants and everything, and it looks so weird, but like it's pretty good. They need to pull out the polar bear and get the white helmet with the bear logo on the side, That's what they
I
need.
think the
But
white. I said it before. I think the white is now getting so overdone at this point, and maybe that's just coming from like a team that has like worn a lot of white jerseys. I mean, we've never
Yeah.
worn a white helmet, but like, I don't know. I think the white's overdone. But
anyways, let's go. What do you want? AJ Brown first?
sure,
Cool. All right.
Okay.
So that is
young
not
player in the
great.
NFC, probably on defense.
I don't think he's young, but okay, cool. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I was gonna say
almost.
he's young, but he's. The number will not work out here, but give me Jaquan Brisker.
No, sir.
Okay.
Um,
I didn't realize Jaquan Brisker was 24. That's wild.
let's see.
Okay, so I mean, I know we're not supposed to help each other out here, but he's probably a linebacker.
Yeah. He's a young linebacker too. Who's a young linebacker?
Has to be either in the north, not north. It's not
okay,
NFC
so it's a
East,
linebacker.
bro.
You're right. My bad.
It's not in the north or east, so it's either in the south
Or west.
Oh, wow, Kobe Dean's only 22. That's wild. Dude was a senior when we drafted. Besides the point. All right, linebacker in the south or west. I know I can pull out a crazy poll here. I know it. He has to be 23. Trying to think. Seahawks, no. Rams, no. I'm forgetting the fourth team in the NFC West. Oh, Lord. Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. Who's the fourth team? Oh, that's not electric at all. Not electric. All right. We'll move on to the north or the south. The Saints. All right. This is no way this is who it's going to be because of age, but give me Devin White. Now I'm just going to try to figure out division. Gosh, it is the NFC West, and I don't know who that fourth team is. I always forget about this fourth team. Seahawks, Niners, Cardinals. Who's the fourth team, bro?
Man.
It's probably going to be someone on that fourth team too, isn't it?
We have two more guesses total, so one each.
I'm gonna go insane because it's gonna be someone on that fourth team. The Rams have someone young that they drafted, but I'm blanking on his name. There's no one in the Cardinals I think it could be just because of age. Like the player I was thinking of was Zaven Collins, but Zaven Collins is too old. I think Zaven. Yeah, I think Zaven Collins is too old. There's no one on the Seahawks who stands up too. This fourth team is going to drive me wild. I guess I'll help you out here, even though I probably shouldn't.
That's your
How
turn.
about a friend? I know. I know it's an obvious team here too. I know it's not Zaven Collins. We'll do Zaven Collins. All right, who's this magical fourth team I'm forgetting about in the West?
Seahawks and Rams. Then there's 49ers and Cardinals.
Oh, so I wasn't.
You named them
forgetting
all.
anyone. What? So I wasn't forgetting
Yeah.
anyone. I'm just a little slow. Again, these are the two teams where I'm like, all right, pause. We're gonna try to help you out here. I'm almost certain there's someone on the.
You looking it up right now?
Well, I'm gonna look up the roster and I'm gonna see if I can help you out here.
Because he's an NFC West linebacker that's 6'2" and 23 years old.
And I will let you
His
know.
jersey
if
number is
you
close
should-
to number 54.
I will let you know if it's someone that.
you
I
would.
think we're both tossing in the white flag here. So like this is just strictly for fun. Because this is technically a Google search. So, like, if you could just give me hints here, I'm not going to take the point if I get it right. But, be a good
Oh,
sport.
take
here,
it, take it. You're fine.
Have I given you points for that?
I feel like you have at some point, probably.
Okay. Well, then fine.
Okay. I'll tell you if it's someone you're supposed to know. Because there's no one on the Rams that is ringing a bell for me that, like, oh, no. Okay. I
know
don't
it?
think you're going to know who it Maybe you'll know who it is. I completely forgot about this guy. That's wild.
What's
wait, how
school did
tall
he
is
go
he?
to? He
How tall
is
is this
6'2".
guy? 6'2". Okay, so that's not who it is.
Who did you think it was?
Boye Mafe.
Oh, okay.
It can't be
NFC
you.
West linebacker that's 6'2", 23
The number works for
years
Boye
old.
Mafe, I think the age works for Boye Mafe. The age doesn't work for Boye Mafe, anyways. Let me see.
Who did he get drafted by? Seahawks?
Yeah.
Cool.
Dude, there is not a single soul that actually, hold on.
Do you want me to try it out?
Yeah, you're not gonna
Yeah.
know who it is.
Oh, we get 10 guesses now. I just read the top. I think they changed that. I thought it was 8.
It's always been 8 and 10.
Okay, so it's a Seahawk. He
It is
wears
not a
number
Seahawk.
53.
It's a Ram.
It's a Ram, yeah. So Ram linebacker that wears 53. That's 23 years old. 6'2". Who is it? I don't know.
He went to South Carolina. He was drafted not in the past draft, but the draft before that. I probably wouldn't have even gotten it. I'm gonna be honest.
Who is it?
Ernest Jones.
Oh, I've heard that name before. Wouldn't have.
Yeah, but it's not
done
who
it.
I would have thought. I'm not would have been like, oh yeah, Ernest Jones. I would have never.
Ernest Jones. Sounds like a creepy old guy around the corner name. Ernest.
Yeah, right.
Ernest Jones. You have any closing statements before we close this guy out?
Go Birds. And whoop up on South Central, I guess.
Yeah, I will not actually be there this week because Caitlin and I have a concert that we are going to on Friday in Indianapolis. It's going to be lots of fun. It's the NoahCon concert. It's going to be great. But anyways, I will report back and let you guys know on how the team did and how the concert was. But anyways, thank you very much for listening to the Pigskin Project. Follow us on all of our socials right here. As always, if you have a suggestion for content or anything like that you would like to hear, any questions about fantasy as well, reach out to us. We are more than happy to respond to anything that we have. Until then, we want to thank Spotify for Podcasters, Regional Radio Sports Network, and Uppercuts Grooming for helping us grow as a podcast. And until next time, we will see you guys later.